this problem that's being dealt with by the rest of the world, this de-dollarization problem, is an extremely complicated one. So now, if we're going through some kind of a great reset, or we're going into some kind of a conflict, or we're going into some kind of a deglobalization, that is probably not going to be a smooth transition.
Mr. Chair, I think you would not want me to prejudge because I'm also...
But you have prejudged on this. You've taken 50 enforcement actions. We're finding out as we go, as you file suit, as people get Wells notices on what is the security in your view.
Finance and in central banking, where we have at our hand a technology that didn't exist before. And
their judge makes their decisions, and I'm optimistic that, sometime in the coming single-digit number of months, we'll have closure there. To your question.
Enjoy the ride, pal.
If you got some bags, welcome to the party. Welcome back to some more Moon o'clock news. No breakfast, no coffee, just straight extra. Bullishness. Shout out to Let Sub. Appreciate you stopping by, tuning in, stuffing some bags. Go ahead. Throw on those moon suits. Throw on those pilot shades. Buckle up. Those are futures. Extra. Bullish. Let's go full speed. Full throttle into the cryptoverse. We got the total global cryptocurrency market cap today at 1.23 trillion, up about 1.2% in the past 24. We got XRP here right around 46 cents, and that number is 6 spot, up almost 1% in the past 24 hours. Stellar XLM right around 9 cents. BTC right around 28,664. ETH right around 19 hundo. We got Flare Networks here right below 3 cents, down 2.8 the past 24. Songbird right below a penny, down 1.6 in the past 24. Earth Angel, as a result, 700 million XRP in total was sent back to escrow. 300 million was released to the market. However, the 300 million XRP tokens released to cater to liquidity demands have not been moved and remain in the recipient's address. The address now holds 746 million XRP. Ripple moves 500 million XRP, locks 700 million tokens in escrow. We got a tweet from John Deaton. Shame on U.S. regulators considering the following. 2017, the SEC issued the DAO. Then in 2017 through the 19th, there were 57 enforcement actions versus crypto companies involving ICOs, Kik, Telegram, etc. In 2018, we got the Hinman speech. 2019, the SEC issued its framework for digital assets. Today, Coinbase launched Coinbase International Exchange and will begin to offer BTC and ETH perpetual futures settled in USDC with up to 5x leverage and institutional clients in eligible jurisdictions outside the US. Just in, Coinbase launches the International Crypto Exchange, introducing Coinbase International Exchange and executing on the next chapter of the company's Go Deep, Go Broad global expansion strategy. Coinbase International Exchange brings the safest, most trusted name in crypto to the global derivatives market. Crypto Eddie, why you shouldn't go all in against the United States and against the US dollar?
I think there is anti-dollar hype right now. I think there is a lot of emotion and a lot of excitement about the possibility for it. So I'm not going to downplay the number of headlines, the excitement with which they're made, and the desire. There is great desire for this to happen. I think the likelihood of it paying off or playing out is, at least to the extent that many are people just accepting as a given, is extremely unlikely. And all of these programs that that these headlines are talking about, at this point, they are plans, right? And if you read the articles carefully, they will often say something like, we have entered into an agreement to start discussions about a potential plan that could one day be implemented. None of these headlines say it's going to happen right now. You have to pay attention to them when that big of a portion of the world's economy makes announcements. To just ignore it would be stupid. So I don't ignore it, but I also just don't take everything as complete fact. Because these announcements have been around for a long time. This problem that's being dealt with by the rest of the world, this de-dollarization problem, is an extremely complicated one. And it's extremely complicated for a number of reasons. And I understand all the reasons they would love to get out from underneath this system, but it's just much easier to say than do. And if all it took was anger and frustration to de-dollarize, the world would have been de-dollarized decades ago. The problem here is that every time we have had some kind of a global slowdown, economic slowdown, or a global crisis over the last 25 years, you always see the US dollar spike in that scenario. So now if we're going through some kind of a great reset, or we're going into some kind of a conflict, or we're going into some kind of a deglobalization, that is probably not going to be a smooth transition, even if everybody was getting along and trying to do it in a cooperating manner. I think even under the best circumstances, it would be volatile. But this will not be done under the best of circumstances. The world is no longer cooperating to the same extent it was. And the US, for better or worse, whether you think they should or shouldn't, will not just stand by and watch as its place in the world is degraded. And so I think they will push back, and that will lead to volatility. And so I think what's going to happen is we're going to get into a crisis, and I think the dollar is going to spike just like it always does. I don't think it's different this time.
We got trading low week 18 fintech news update. Number one, Ripple on-demand liquidity in India. Payment solutions offered optimized liquidity for cross-border payments, including complex corridors like Brazil, Mexico, India, and Southeast Asia, using XRP as a neutral bridge for various fiat currency pairs. All roads lead to the bridge, XRP. Digital Asset Daily. Meanwhile, 5 Arab states plus Iran among 19 nations ready to join BRICS. Financial Service GOP Chair Gensler continues his contradictory statements regarding the classification of specific digital assets. If the law is clear, shouldn't Gary Gensler be able to say which assets are securities? Fortunately, he won't. Game's all rigged.
As you noted back in 2018, you noted in your testimony that at the time, the SEC did not view Bitcoin and Ether as securities. Is that still your view?
I think you're referring to when I was at MIT, testimony I gave in front of the this committee in 2019, if I remember. And I was speaking to what the SEC career staff had said.
But is it your view now that that Bitcoin and Ether are not securities?
No, I'm not going to get into any one token, but I think the securities laws are quite clear. If you're raising money from somebody else, and that's something that the investing public believes that they anticipate or have a reasonable anticipation of profits based on the efforts of others, that fits within the securities law. But that was in 2014, and in 2018, the Securities and Exchange Commission has said, regardless of what it might have been in 14, it's now sufficiently decentralized that we'll consider it not a security.
I'm asking you, sitting in your chair now, to make an assessment under the laws as exist. Is Ether a commodity or a security?
Without speaking to anyone.
I know you've repeatedly said you're not going to speak to one, except you've spoken to one, Bitcoin. So I'm asking you to speak to a second one, the second largest market cap here.
And speaking to the tokens, there's 10 to 12,000. If there's a group of entrepreneurs,
I'm asking about one.
Is anticipating a profit based on the.
I'm asking you a specific question, Chair Gensler. I said this in private. This should be no shock to you. I'm asking this question. Is Ether a commodity or a security?
And again, it depends on the facts and the law. And if there's a group of individuals.
I'm asking you about the facts and the law sitting in your seat and the judgment you are making.
And so, Mr. Chair, I think you would not want me to prejudge, because I'm also.
But you have prejudged on this. You've taken 50 enforcement actions. We're finding out as we go, as you file suit, as people get Wells notices on what is a security in your view, in your agency's view. I'm asking you a very simple question about the second largest digital asset.
Drain the swamp. Free the standard. We got them on that blockchain trail. Get those jumpsuits. Get those jail cells ready. Cryptic poet just in the White House is trying to persuade Congress to pass a 30% tax on the electricity used in cryptocurrency mining. XRP, the greenest of them all. We got BIS, Bank for International Settlements. In case you missed it, central banks need to be bold to reap the greatest benefits from innovation. In the latest podcast, listen to Augustine Carstens discuss the options following the keynote speech by our GM.
Sometimes we need to be bold, and sometimes we need to think big. We're in the planning process. I mean, this has to be put in context of the moment that we're living. We are in a unique situation in finance and in central banking, where we have at our hand technology that didn't exist before. And I think it is incumbent on us to think what is the best way we can use that technology. To have a complete different rethink, it's, I think, refreshing from the point of view that it allows you to think on alternatives and to think on ways where many of these frictional elements can be eliminated.
You know what's coming. They know what's coming. And they can't stop it. Bags packed. Breaking the U.S. banking crisis, bank shares plummet. Meanwhile, XRP hidden in plain sight. Shares of the major U.S. regional banks fell further on Tuesday in the aftermath of the collapse of the First Republic Bank, the largest U.S. bank failure since the 2008 financial crisis. Shares of the PacWest Bank Corp tumbled nearly 30%. Western Alliance Bank Keep Corp fell 21% and 10% respectively. KBW Regional Bank Index was down 5.2, hitting its lowest since December 2020. Experts warn if a confidence crisis can happen to the First Republic, it can happen to any bank in this country. Analysts from Evercore ISI speculate on the implications of JP Morgan being the government's first line of defense in the event of such a crisis. The repercussions of our insatiable greed and reckless money printing have led us to the dire state in which we can find ourselves yet again. Things get much worse if the Fed doesn't pivot. Time to load up on those utility bags while you still have some time. BYOB, be your own bank, be your own boss, bring your own billions. We got some wallet, the wait is over. Unhosted.exchange by some is now free for all. Experience seamless, secure, and cost-effective trading right in your browser. Join us in redefining the world of decentralized trading. Over on unhosted.exchange, a DEX by some. Flare networks want to maximize your flare drop allocation. Calculation is based on your average rat flare holdings from 3 random blocks during the previous 23 days. Flare drop number 3 claiming will be available from May 16th, 12 p.m. UTC. We got John D in. This is not how settlement happens. First, I believe that the only time a settlement occurs in this case is after a ruling by Judge Torres. And that only happens if Ripple gets a big victory so Gensler could save face and get a political win via settlement. Sorry. Not going to happen. Reportedly, Ripple and the SEC to hold undisclosed meeting May 18th. With that being said, Bagman and Bag Ladies, time is getting near. The time is close. Ripple's CEO Brad Gardenhouse thinks that the SEC lawsuit will be concluded by September 2023. He says, I'm optimistic that sometime in the single-digit number of months, last one being September, we'll have closure there. Get those bags packed, locked and loaded, while you still have some time.
Their judge makes their decisions, and I'm optimistic that, sometime in the coming single-digit number of months, we'll have closure there. Single-digit number of months, we'll have closure there. To your question about settlement,
let me know what you think down below. Optimistic that sometime in the single-digit number of months, we'll have closure there. September, to remember, longer they take, the higher we climb on that XRP rich list. XRP 589, pure gold. Know what you hold, know what's coming, and know why. They want those bags back. I am the XRP Bagman, the Moon Commander, currently up here on the mothership, stuffing some bags and enjoying the show. Appreciate you stopping by, tuning in, smashing those likes for some more Moon O'Clock news. Hope y'all continue to stay extra bullish out there. Continue holding those good vibes. Remember to sell the FUD, buy up those bags. Don't forget to spread that liquid love. Also, if you're new here, don't forget to drop a subscribe, drop a comment down below. All the OG diamond hands out there, drop a comment down below. Drop an elbow on that like button on the top rope. Catch you up here, top floor on the mothership 589, where the moon party, BYOB. Be your own bank, bring your own billions. Be your own boss, bring your own Bugatti. Peace out, crypto ghosts.
There's a party on the moon, and I know you heard the boom. Why she want my bags now? Hey, why she want my bags now? There's a party on the moon, and I know you heard the boom. Why she want my bags now? Why she want my bags now? Hey.
Today is a day, so let's moon party. Looking good and jaw-dropping, never cocky. Wearing moon suit, up and away. Intergalactic, into outer space. Celebrating love and digital wealth. You got love behind, all you got is